Hello? Hello, hello? Does this thing work? Good stuff. All right. I think we're live. I think we're working. I know, this is a completely different thing than usual. I missed yesterday, and I missed the week before that, and the week before that, and it felt like streaming. So I figured we could sit down at a reasonable time of day and talk about some foam flingers. It's going pretty good, Ethan. How about you? Good morning, Edgar. See General Strike, nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. Nightwolf Gaming. Vesic. I can always count on you, Vesic. Thanks for popping in. Oh. Ooh. Like, why is it so cold? It's my heater. Gotta unplug. It's freaking cold up here. It's miserably cold up here. Yesterday, I was trying to work on a couple of things, and I got the worst, most splitting headache ever, and I think that's just because of how freaking cold it is. It was like 42 degrees in this little studio. This little heater is just not doing it anymore. Not sure how to fix that right now, but it's okay. I got the Jigglypuff Udi on. This thing will melt you. Hey, Captain Shotgun. It's going okay. Merge Masters. Yeah, a funny story about this. I wasn't planning on the merge masterings, but I saw Clowney's stuff, and there was a hit of inspiration yesterday. I was watching camping videos because I didn't feel good, and I'm sitting here thinking I might actually enter Captain Shotgun. It's been a long time. I still have blasters I've never finished, and honestly, I think like the integrations were like the only thing I was ever really good at in this hobby, to be honest. So I might enter, and I kind of wanted to talk about that this time and see if you guys were interested in entering, because this competition is only going to be fun as long as there's more and more people. And as integrations and bodywork and stuff becomes a dying art in the hobby, I still think there's plenty of places for it. Most people, and I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong here, chat, I feel like that people are way too focused on performance, and I'm willing to take some blame on that because I got really excited for performance. 5 years later, I'm actually kind of tired of everything but performance. There is diminishing returns, and if we can get $15 blasters that hit 150 FPS out of the box, we've reached the point of diminishing returns. We can no longer price a blaster based on its performance. That being said, charging $80 for a 70 FPS, a smart AR riddled monster from Hasbro isn't exactly great. Then again, the other direction Hasbro's been going recently doesn't seem that great either, and I'm really worried about them. Truly worried about them. I don't know what's going on with Hasbro, and I have no idea what the future holds. But there's plenty of places still where you can build a custom blaster and you can have it shine. And the biggest contributor to that is, of course, HVZ. And it just kind of got me thinking. So I was watching some camping videos and I saw an over-under, one of those like 223 over a 12 gauge. I was like, damn, that's cool. Why isn't something like that in NERF? Well, the closest thing to that is actually more like the dual strike. The dual strikes are really good. They're actually like one of the best things you could mod. But to mod them, you remove the switchy gimmick. I don't want to remove the switchy gimmick. And so I sat there thinking, and I was like, I kind of want to sit on stream and talk about this, and might actually come up with a solid build for like an over-under multi-caliber blaster. And I thought that'd be fun. So I decided to stream for a couple hours, see what happens. Would you rather the Welsh or the Tulip? Well, Clark the Nerf God, it's almost like I answered that in the video. And I would be horrible if I were to deprive you from actually watching that video. So I think you should watch that video. Nexus Pro X isn't perfect. That's something that we should honestly talk about, because the problem with a lot of this in the hobby is that all of this new stuff became so accessible so quickly, Edgar, that you tend to forget that the Nexus Pro was amazing, but it wasn't even better than like a good modified Retaliator. The difference is you weren't spending $200 to get the Nexus Pro. You were spending $50 and it was on a Walmart shelf, and most of you would never have bought all the parts from China and modified your own Prophecy or Retaliator to build a 200 FPS Retaliator. And you never experienced it before. You had no idea what foam darts are capable of, and that's why we were so excited, at least me personally, was so excited about the Nexus Pro X and the Nexus Pro and all that kind of stuff, because it showed people what our hobby was capable of and why it's so much fun. There's a reason why I like foam darts over airsoft or paintball. And I still don't understand the psychopaths that go into my comments and go like, why don't you buy real guns? You're an adult. Well, first of all, I would never take suggestions from anybody who calls things real guns. And second of all, these have completely different use cases. I do own firearms, but the point still stands. These are not the same thing. And anybody who thinks they're the same thing is a psychopath. Well, I'm glad I'm streaming at a weird time, Structural Engineer. I love the dual strike. It's so bad. Nice to see you, Homely. Well, thank you, Matthew. Glad you can catch it. Did you ever do a try-and review? I don't think I did. I didn't really have that much to talk about. I did like it, but I mentioned it in a video or three, but I don't think I did a review of it. I remember when we were getting hyped with the Helios drum. I mean, I still wish we could get that Helios drum. Stream on a Sunday? Yep, Goji King, we're going to try stream on Sunday, see what happens. How about that? It's 2025. It's time to do new things. Brave new worlds. QWERTY is the best keyboard. I don't
Let's
think
rock.
That's true, but I mean, that's what everybody uses, so. Homely has been a member for 75 months. That's far too long, Homely. We gotta stop meeting like this, but thank you. You absolute freaking foam master, you. I just purchased a Skins long shot. I've never modded before. Any tips? With the long shot, you're going to need to replace the plunger tube eventually. I would honestly buy a plunger tube, a barrel, and a spring from wherever. There's so many places that sell that. Replace those three things, you're going to have a monster of a blaster. I still think a modded long shot, X-Shot long shot is a smoother prime than a Nexus Pro ever was. Or Nexus Pro X. I could be wrong about that. I'd actually like to hear your thoughts about that in the chat. Hidden, would you recommend the PK1S as a starter for ASBs? Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I think the BK1S is about the only AEB most people are going to get their hands on right now. I do think the 77 has legs, but apparently it's gone now. So, I wonder. I do think the 77 has legs, but the BK1S is definitely good. How are you feeling? Got over the sickness? I'm still getting gummed up in places. Doing my best to live through that, but it hasn't been as bad as it has like in the past, mostly because I have an inhaler now. At least a little bit of inhaler. We'll do dirty things for more albuterol, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm doing all right. It's mostly just like, it's too cold. Like, it's so hard to like stand in front of the camera and it's mostly shooting when it's like freaking 33, 35 degrees in here. It's horrible. I need to figure this out. Is there any way I could send you pics of my... I think you'd be very interested. I mean, you can post them in the Discord and I might see them, Captain. You can tag me. Hey, bro! Well, I'm glad you didn't forget this one. Mr. Cobb, do you like bipods or tripods? Well, I don't think I've ever actually used a tripod beyond what came with, like, the Vulcan or the whatchamacallit, I always blank on this blaster. The Rhino Fire. That's what it's called. I like bipods for rule of cool. I think a folded bipod, as dumb as that is, like on a rifle when you're not using it, I think it looks cool. So, what would be the ideal AEG Nerf blaster? A Colonel Woff 77.5 with what little minor annoyances the 77 had. If they could fix those, I think the 77 at that price point is unbeatable. I think the 77, like, it won't appeal to the people who are like, oh, hey, the BK1S looks like something from Call of Duty. It's not going to appeal to those people, and that's fine. But I think the 77 has the potential to be a far better blaster. The fact that you can just, like, unscrew the buffer tube and slap in a new spring is unheard of in AEBs. So I think that's the most important thing. And that adds so much value to your blaster, it's not even funny. That's my opinion. What kind of plunger to just get an aftermarket one, whatever one fixes the broke one, because they break. If you got a newer long shot, it should be okay, Clark, but it might break eventually. You got a thing of like solid steel rattling around against it might break. Hey, Lieutenant Salamander. I'm saving up for a Ragefire, but for some reason on Amazon it's like $100. Are they? Are they? That has to be just like leftover from Christmas stuff. X-Shot Ragefire. Well, the first thing it says is typically 125 to 135. No, wait, here's one right here. It's $45 on Amazon right now. I'm literally looking at it right now. $45. Huh. Well, that was short-lived. Do you like the double punch or the Moto Blitz more? I like the double punch a lot more, Goji. A lot more than the Moto Blitz. I think Moto Blitz is cool, but I like the double punch a lot more. And that's like my biggest problem with Hasbro. It's like, okay, you made a really cool thing with the double punch. Like, do more with it. They don't. I'm really loving this new ultra late Saturday night stream time. I know, we've just been streaming for so long, Radioactive, you missed it. Streaming for so long. It's ridiculous. What are we talking about? We're talking about random stuff. We're chilling on a Sunday. Nothing crazy. I do want to kind of talk about Merge Masters, though. I know, Hawkeye, I am. Why? Is that a problem? Do you not like that? Are we going to shut it down because Hawkeye showed up? Crap, guys. I think the fuzz is here. I can't do another nickel. What do you think of the Adventure Force Maxim Pro? Is it a good recommendation? I did a whole video on it, and I firmly believe you should watch that video. I think it's pretty good. It's definitely one of the better off-the-shelf flywheelers you could buy. I'm totally thinking about it, Hawkeye. So let me run through like my basic ideas. It's actually changed since I've made the thumbnail because I'm still doing it. But you got the dual strike, right? And this is a sweet blaster. Let's get rid of that. This is honestly, like, not only is it the biggest, most audacious plunger tube you could probably get in like a stock Nerf thing, people have got these to hit like 350 FPS. And it's so slept on. Nobody talks about the dual strike. But I was sitting there the other day, right? As you do, as a fat guy, you tend to sit around a lot. And I was thinking, I was watching one of the camping channels, outdoor ones, and he had a rifle. It was one of those over-unders, right, that had a 12 gauge and a 223 rifle on top of it. And I was like, man, that's kind of sick. I could do me with one of those. Turns out they're several $1,000s for some insane reason. So I was like, well, why can't we do something like that in like Nerf? Like, how come multi-caliber blasters are not really a thing? Sure, you can get like a shotgun that shoots multiple different projectiles. But Nerf in general usually uses attachments for something that shoots another blast. Like, this is one of the only things like it, if I'm not mistaken, because it literally swaps. If you don't know, the dual strike can shoot Mega and Elite, and you swap between them with that, which controls a little ball valve that redirects the airflow. So, I was like, what if you were to take this idea and put it in like a break action? So the first thing I was considering is like, well, I could put a nice little like rifle slick stock on this or something, like just make it a little bit more ergonomic and still have the pullback, and then put like some kind of break action on the front, like cut this all off, but keep the ball valve, which most people would delete, but keep it. And do a similar idea. Maybe even like try to figure out a way to like move this linkage back or something so it's a little bit better to access, which you could probably do with like another little pivot point and a little bar. So I was thinking about all that, and then like even like I was trying to find one of these through my pile for this exact stream. I was like, I kind of still wanted to break open, and if it does break open, what am I going to use for the Mega Barrel? I can find tons of things to work with Elite, but Mega Barrel material is a little bit more difficult, I think. Then I was like, well, I kind of still wanted to prime on the break action, which leaves me with literally one blaster that I could use for the base, which is the sledge fire. But I think you could make that work. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. That idea right there. What if I were to take the ball valve mechanism, put that on the front of a sledge fire, and modify the sledge fire's front barrel to be an over-under? One for at least Mega caliber, and the top one for Elite. I built a Nerf musket for basically free with a Nerf Jolt. Yep, that'll make a musket. I think just taking off the PVC and putting a dart in there and blowing through it would make a better musket, but to each their own. It was the Outdoor Boys, yeah. One of the best channels on YouTube. Have you seen the X-Shot Motorized Clip Mania? I have one. I need to finish the video on it. I'm just not really feeling it. That's my biggest problem with videos. You have no idea. You guys are like, oh, well, Walcom's really lazy. He doesn't. I filmed so much stuff that never hits the channel because I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. It's not good enough. I'm really bad about that, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm not having fun making the video. I'm not having fun editing the video. I don't know what to do. It's my biggest problem as a creative is that I don't think the video is good enough, so I don't upload it. Would be cool if someone made the fictional blasters from the Nerf Wii game. There are a lot of those, that's for sure. In fact, I kind of wanted to stream that game at some point because I actually have a proper setup for playing the Wii on the PC. Last time we played that during the stream, it was awful, though. I really did not find that game fun. Serbian, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I really don't. There's absolutely nothing about this idea that means it needs a new blaster. If you think that, you have never seen what I was capable of creating 5 years ago. Mega tri-break, the worst. Oh, I hate the tri-break. I hate the tri-break with a passion. Wasn't there a clip of you shooting the Dictator? Why haven't you reviewed it? Because again, I think I filmed it and I just didn't like the video. I think the Dictator is okay. The Dictator has some fun, like, tech to it that you can do. That makes it a pretty enthralling blaster, on top of the fact that I think stock hits like 170 FPS, which is insane, especially a couple of years ago. That wasn't really a thing. It hit noticeably harder than the Conquest or the Nexus Pro X or anything like that. Would you recommend the Worker Kunlun? I have videos on this. I do have a video on the Kunlun. I really liked it. Can you hire an editor? No, I don't make enough money to do that. Like, editors are expensive. Editors, especially for the caliber of videos I do, the going rate is usually pretty expensive for an editor. I think, like, professionally, something like $100 a minute or something like that for per edited footage. But even if that was $10 a minute per edited footage, it would be far too expensive for this channel right now. If I had more ads coming in, but then the question is, like, who do I hire for something like that? You know what I mean? I'd have to have somebody who matches my style. I mean, it takes me anywhere, it depends on the video. If everything goes perfect for, like, a normal lightweight video, it usually takes me about 6 to 8 hours to get a video done. For example, the last video I did, which was the Rush and the Tulip, that was 48 minutes of unedited footage. Then I have to edit that down. Then I have to get all of those clips, and I think it was like 60-something video files total, plus pictures. I think it took me, I think I started that at like, it had to be at least 8-9 hours of doing that video over like 2 days. You should convert an airsoft gun to a Nerf. So the thing with airsoft is it shoots really lightweight, tiny projectiles. They don't usually have the power to fire a Nerf dart. They're just too weak. I don't know what to tell you, airsoft bros. Your blasters are just, your weaponry is too weak. It needs to be stronger. Is there a part of the hobby where you can make blasters? Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Look up the Merge Master stuff in the description. I know you mentioned not going to games anymore. It's not because I don't want to. It's because there are multiple factors preventing me from being able to go to games. I used to go to every single game there was, but now I don't feel safe going to games anymore. I think if you took a chance to see fans a break from a review, you'd find a little light out. No, I'd find the exact worse. I'm actually far less stressed not going to that kind of stuff. I want to point out that Coop never went to, like, anything. Like, ever. I think he went to a handful of events and his local HVZ. But, yeah, he, like, went to Jared's, and that was about it. And I think he only went to Jared's a couple of times. And everybody loved him. I can't go to games because it's just not feasible. I can't. There's too much that is preventing me from being able to go. I want to go. I love playing. I know I'm huge, but it's never stopped me before. I genuinely enjoy playing. And I'm very upset that I'm not allowed to go to games anymore. But there's just no, what's the word I'm looking for? Tenable. It's just not tenable. I can't do it. It's not because I don't want to, it's because I can't. And I can't go into details on that, unfortunately. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. Definitely would like to. I mean, I went and ran games in California. That was in what, August? I took my friend with me, the wife and the friend. We went down there. We were there for like 3-4 days. Had a wonderful time. That's where you saw that clip of Freddy in the pool. I know exactly how I want to improve on that setup there, but like there's a shed somewhere down in California right next to a big old field that is completely decked out for a Nerf battle right now. It's got multiple, like 15 Mark IVs in it that are fully kitted out, multiple Dart Zone Pro Mark IIIs. It's got bunkers and inflators and everything all labeled, ready to go. We could have a Nerf war with a big field and a big battle in less than an hour. It'd be cool. How many blasters do you have that you want to do videos on? So, we'll talk about the Merge Master stuff, people, but I have, like, one of the reasons why I'm streaming right now, right, is because I got up, I was doing some Slayer and RuneScape, and I was like, I want to stream. Why do I want to stream? I don't really know. Screw it. I'm gonna do it. And I want to do more video like that. So, I want to say tomorrow, but I've been stockpiling things to hopefully just start rolling out videos. And hopefully it does okay, because I can't tell what people really want. Do people just want more content? Or do people want specific content? personally, I'm going to do more tag back because I want to do tag back. And that process of filming an old blaster and talking about what I like about it and what I think it could be used for, what niche it could fill in the hobby, is something that I truly enjoy. And I stopped doing them because the views were like, oh, I'd spend, you know, whatever a day working on this video and put it out and you get 6,000, 7,000 views. But then I looked back and it's like, well, some of those videos I did and like I wasn't even going to upload, like the Reaper video. I wasn't going to upload that. I was like, I need to do a video. Let's just do this video really quick. That has like 130,000 views. There are times like I think even like I did like the Sludge Fire video. Again, that was just throwaway video for me. It's got like it's got a ton of views. My eye is bugging out on me right now. Must have got something in it. And that video has tons of views. So it's like, I want to just go back to do the things that I like. Because honestly, quite frankly, what is NERF doing right now that I care about? I have every single one of the NERF N-Series blasters. Every single one. I have bought them all. How do you do a video on this? Most of them are just the same thing. And they're kind of garbage. I'm not saying you can't like them. The problem with reviewing them is that they're very boring. There's nothing exciting to talk about with them. So I haven't. I have a video. God, how old is that video? I filmed the entirety of the Sprinter video not that long ago. But it's still probably, actually I can find out. Where is it? This one, where is, there it is, Sprinter. When was this done? Properties. October 22nd. So I filmed the Sprinter video, and that's honestly way too late for that, even that video. But I filmed the Sprinter, like it's done. The only thing I probably have to shoot for it is like the extra stuff, like the firing footage and whatnot. But I've had that video completely shot. Here it is. Did I upload it? When did I upload I had the B-roll of like me opening the box? September 4th. So like, but I don't, it's like, does it matter now? We're 6 months after the blaster came out. Does anybody care? Not really. Is it worth me spending the time editing that and putting it up? Probably not. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about a bunch of stuff, and that's what I'm going to do. That's kind of like my thoughts from here on going out. We'll see how it works. Everybody's talking about Superb Owl stuff, which I do not follow at all. What I do follow is cheap chicken wings. That sounds good right now. That might be in the cards in the future. Maybe that's lunch. Go out and get some cheap chicken wings or something. By the way, Walcom, the target thing you use is particularly designed for airsoft. No kidding, a kid who knows how to shoot guns. Obviously, it's specifically meant for airsoft, but it works for foam darts. It works for basically everything. Why would that matter? Heck, you can change the projectile impact size in the settings. So for saying it's designed for airsoft, it kind of isn't. It can be used for pretty much anything. Works really good for gel balls, and those aren't airsoft. I think I would know what it's designed for when I have like 3 of them. What I want to do is use the 3 setup more often. I do have that like configured, but it's really it's minimal in the things you can do with it. I already, I spent all the time wiring up all the lights and stuff like that. And then I was like, crap, it'd be really cool if I have one target 10 feet, another target at 20 feet, and another target at 30 feet. That would be kind of sick. But I already have everything wired up for not that. And I'd have to break all of that stuff to do that. So I don't know. What would you do with the tertiary targets? Are you talking about the little tiny flip up ones I have? The, what are those, e-shooter targets? Those are wonderful. They're a little expensive. I think they're like 40 to 60 bucks a piece. Let me look it up really cool. Sentry 2. There's $69 on their website right now. Those things are they don't seem like much, but they're one of the best targets I have ever used. The self-resetting stuff is just freaking awesome. I only collect Dart Tag, Vortex, N-Strike, and Olden because I find them way more interesting than anyone else. I can understand that, Structural Engineer. Especially with the Vortex and Dart Tag stuff. That's just a vibe. McDonald, have you tried the new McDonald's bacon barbecue quarter pounder? I have not, but I honestly haven't had McDonald's in a long time. I pretty much stopped eating fast food. It's just too expensive now. Like, you imagine, I bet that one barbecue quarter pounder thing is like $8-9, and you could go sit down at a restaurant and eat that. So I think like what, even like the biggest like burger at like Red Robin is like $17-18, and that comes with fries and everything. So unlimited fries at that. Thoughts on the Dart Zone Renegade and Buccaneer? They look cute. They don't look like all that special. I'm really curious why they came out in Australia before they came out up here. I'm wondering if they're actually like Dart Zone made, because they look way different than anything Dart Zone has done, or Dart Zone's just selling them under their brand in Australia. It's weird, but yeah, there's 2 pirate-themed blasters down in Australia that have Dart Zone labeling on them. What is your opinion on nitro darts? They worked really good from what I tested. The problem is that they disappear. I know they're back in stock on their website, but they're not back in stock in stores that I can see yet. And I'd really like to get more of them to give them a proper test, because I only got the ones that came with my blasters. What's your bucket list of releases for this year? I'm hoping for a pro shotgun. We're overdue for a pro shotgun. I am really hoping we get a pro lever action. That is way overdue. What is your favorite food in general? It's usually sushi. Hi, I'm going to come over if it's okay in like 3 months. I mean, we might be able to make that work out somehow, but I can't make any promises. Just come on over to my house. That'll be fun. We need a pro. We really do need a pro one. Sushi, that's all. Sushi is amazing. It really is. It's like it's the best. I love it. It's just far too expensive most of the time. And also the last 2 times I ate sushi, I got sick afterwards. So I'm kind of like chilled on it a little bit right now. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is the ease of use of the BK1S? I'd put it at like a 6. It's gonna take a little bit. It does like jam, and you gotta kind of be gentle with it. Mine's jammed a couple of times, but I usually reset that by just shutting the thing off, pulling the battery, and then restarting it. Mine hasn't had any catastrophic failures. I've fired thousands of darts through it. I haven't like ran it in a game though, just against the target. So that might be different. That does kind of change things a little bit, because when I'm standing in front of a target and shooting, I'm a lot less harsh on it than, you know, running it in a game. What performance would a pro shotgun even be? Minimum 120? I mean, yeah, it doesn't need to hit all that hard. It just needs to fling multiple projectiles. I'm going to be on the West Coast in June. Too bad it's SoCal. I'd love to hang out with Homely again. It's been way too long. Wait, they made wasabi Doritos? Those sound amazing. I just got my competitive loadout. Hummingbird Gen 2 with 6 25-round magazines. That'll work. I honestly, like, I wonder what for competitive players, I feel like I see a lot more springers than flywheelers when it comes to competitive players. Best moment for me is in the Discord when a kid was kicked for sending videos of his face and complaining that his BK1S wasn't working because he didn't know it needed a lipo. Oh, that hurts. Can you talk about the Mazong yet? The Mangzong? That name will never stick with me. I'll need to figure out. As far as I know, I have some coming. I checked the tracking. Let me see here. I know you know me, says Hunter. That's a little scary. I do know you, Hunter. I checked the tracking a couple of days ago and it hasn't seemed to have done anything. Let's see. Come on. Come on, tracking. You can do it. Yeah, it's still not, it hasn't been sent yet, but hopefully I'll get it soon. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I'll have one of those Mengzongs. They did want me to wait to release the video once I do get it, because I think they're going to have a couple of different reviews do videos. But it is I've seen video, like he sent me footage of it's the perfect blaster. The Mongzong, whatever it's called, will be one of the coolest blasters we'll get in the hobby. There are going to be people that will complain about it because people love to complain in this hobby, but for what it is, the fact that it has literally nothing else around it that's even remotely similar, it has good performance, it's fun, and I can already see the comments on the videos like, the blade isn't the proper rigidity for you to use it to use in a Nerf war, so if you use one of these in my Nerf war, I'm gonna ban you. Because they think like, oh, they see something that's like sword sort of shaped, and they think automatically that's going to be a melee, when it's not. It's a blaster first. But I'm excited. I have not been excited for a blaster in a long time, and I'm excited. And I've been watching Shanye work on that for years. I swear, this, like, he started working on that blaster at least 3 years ago, at least. We need darts on to make 50 cal balls. I really wish like a big company would. The problem is that outdoors, the 50 caliber foam balls just kind of work like litter. Indoors, they're fine, but outdoors, yeah, they're really hard to find and pick up. Yeah, Smith, I just felt like streaming. Don't hold that against me. Yeah, I just took a Dual Strike last week in the bin together with, I thought the Dual Strike plus Shell Strike or Sledge Fire. So that's kind of where I'm working, Dr. Ishil, is a Dual Strike plus a Sledge Fire. See, it says in the rules that you can use 3D printing, and that might make it easier for me to use Mega. But is there like a known hobby Mega thing barrel? I mean, there has to be, because I have multiple Mega blasters. Yes, Hunter, I know it's you. My brain just melted. What was I talking about? Yeah, because I have, like, the Moose. That's obviously a hobby. I wonder how expensive it is. Like, maybe I can go to Moose and be like, hey, do you have any leftover barrel like that? Because I want to do this, but over, under, break action, bottom Mega, top Elite. So if I were to make the barrels in something on the front of a Sledge Fire, and then use this mechanism, and maybe have this connected to some other mechanism down here. That's kind of what I want to do. And that might convince me to do Merge Masters. Because I just bought all the stuff anyway the last couple of months because I'm working on another blaster. So, 42 Blades. I've been working on developing a flexible game mode for foam sports using flag football flags as lives. The goal is to use existing sports equipment. That absolutely is a thing. We've played that. So that will work, 42 Blades. There's also, what do you call it? Brain, come on, dude. I know it's early. I know. You need caffeine. I'm sorry, bro. There's LARP games that use flag football flags for lives, but use Nerf blasters. 42 Blades. I've been meaning to ask about this, because your icon is like is it Baryonyx knife? And we've talked a little bit, like in comments, but we've never actually talked. What is your affiliation with that company? Because it's a small world. Because I have 2 Kingfisher machetes I bought a long time ago. And I have that little, I gave it to Hawkeye, but I had one of those little slidey knife guys. 42 Blades. There's no way. There's no way. It's like, because I've seen your comments for years. And I was like, oh, they must be like, maybe they work with them or something like that. Because like, I have 2 Kingfisher machetes. Those are the coolest things I've ever bought. They're kind of rusted now, unfortunately. But holy crap. Yeah, 40 Baryonyx, right? Baryonyx Knife Company. Fantastic stuff. I've literally bought stuff from them for years. I cannot recommend them enough. You got it. I'm gonna have to, there's one thing, I think my handles need to be sanded a little bit because they're a little rough. Yeah, we're Bixco because it's easier to type. Got it. Yeah, Bixco.com, BYXCO.com. Fantastic. I can't believe that. Because, like, I've seen your comments, and even one video you mentioned, like, hey, I recognize that knife, because I had, like, one of your little things. We've never really talked about this at all. It's so weird. It's like, I've bought your stuff in the past. Dude, that is absolutely righteous. I don't know how the heck this happened, because, again, it's been, like, years that I've been seeing you in the comment section and stuff. I don't know if you popped up in a stream. That's too cool. Extra Fury X or extra long shot? If you already have one, you could get the other. I want a Radson XL that shoots 6x3 short darts. Crazy blast. Isn't that one they already make? I think the Radson stuff is on sale right now, too. We need to summon Radioactive again. I want Pro Mega from Dart Zone, and the massive success of that would hopefully show them alternative ammo types are actually viable. This is true. What I wouldn't give to, like, sit down with, like, one of those companies, be like, here's some products I think would do kind of cool. Moose 1 or Moose 2? If you're gonna use the shotgun built into the Moose 2, get the Moose 2. It's kind of harsh, though. I think they're both very similar. I think the Moose 2 is technically an upgrade in terms of priming weight and stuff like that. Totally random question. What was your first blaster? The first one that I remember, Lieutenant, was the Supermax 1500. That's the first one I can remember. And that would have came out when I was like 10. I'm sure I had something before that, but that's the earliest one I remember. Got a Fury X a week ago, and it was my first ever Pro Blaster. It's so fun just to tinker with and nothing like anything I've used before. That is why the Fury X will be a Trojan horse for the hobby. That is one of the coolest things, is the fact that, like, now everybody can see what pro performance is for 15 bucks. Because when you just put words on a package, especially the way Hasbro, like, you gotta remember, Hasbro marketed Elite, right? With 90-foot ranges, like NERF Elite XL or whatever it was. That was like 90-foot ranges is what they claimed. And then when we got, like, the Pro Blaster, like we got the Nexus Pro X on shelves, that only claimed 125 foot of range. And I believe NERF Ultra was also the same distance claims, but the difference in velocity and actual range is heads to tail. Like, of course the Nexus Pro X was, Nexus Pro was so much better. I just got myself over saying Nexus Pro when I was talking about Nexus Pro X. Now I'm saying Nexus Pro X over the Nexus Pro. How's the Jolt collection coming along? Honestly, I'm not sure what I'm missing right now from, like, micro shots. I know I'm missing I think I'm missing the Kaboom Fortnite micro shot. I'm missing like one or two. I planned on doing a video of, like, the wall of that, but I put, like, a table in front of it and stuff. I might actually, I mean, I have to move a whole table with, like, a printer and stuff on it, but maybe I'll do a video update on that, because I think I'm only missing, like, a handful of micro shots right now. When it comes to actual jolts, I have no idea. There's as many jolts as there are stars in the sky. Bro, N-Series is the worst financial decision Hasbro's ever made, and will make more bad decisions. My beef with N-Series is that N-Series should have done more. I think Ultra took more of a risk than N-Series. I don't think N-Series is awful, but it definitely doesn't, it's far too little, far too late. Something I'd really like to see personally is a Pro Rough Cut that uses the dual side-by-side magazines and a better dual action trigger. I can see that. Like that kind of new stuff I'd want to see. God, Hasbro, could you just make a Pro Series double punch? Like, that would go so hard, it's not even funny. A Pro Series, that's the thing that blows my mind. A Pro Series double punch would do so much. You could literally just take the same mechanism, make it hit 120 FPS, and sell it for $50. And I know it would sell. And Hasbro's like, oh, no, not going to do that. And that's frustrating to me, man. Are you working on making a Nerf gun? We're kind of talking about it. Hunter, I kind of want to mod this into something that's like break action, but still does the Mega Elite thing. And I think I'm actually going to like maybe take this apart. I bought a screwdriver over here to do that because I really want to see this ball valve working. But yeah, it's so freaking cold. That's why I'm like cuddled up in the studio wearing this gigantic fluffy hoodie. It's just too cold. But I do kind of want to build stuff again. Has Worker ever truly cornered the market on entry level to playing pro? I think Worker is kind of, it's not boutique, but Worker's kind of like the facto. So, oh, I forgot to respond to this email. Oh, I wish. Look, if you send me a message and I don't respond to it at any point, feel free to send me another one. There's a lot of times where like, I'll see your message and then I'll make a mental note to talk to you later because I see it on my phone. I'm like, oh God, I have so much to talk about. Somebody's like, hey, I run a Nerf, or I'm starting a Nerf club thing in like some European, like someplace across the sea. And they were like, but they were looking at getting new blasters because the Hasbro stuff wasn't cutting it. They were looking at like a couple of the X-Shot stuff, a couple of the Dart Zone stuff. And then they said the Worker Seagull. And I actually, what is the MSRP in the Worker Seagull? They were like, if you're going to run like a club where you're going to loan out blasters, the only blaster that it looked like it could even remotely do with that at all would be the Seagull. Because it's way more durable than any of those other options. It's not that the Nexus Pro X or the Longshot X aren't great blasters. And I don't think they're worse because they can potentially break. But when you're giving a newbie that kind of blaster, you're just asking for it to be killed. You just can't stop it. But it's really hard to do that to a Seagull. You could jam the Seagull, but I don't think you can break. Has anybody broken a Seagull? And I'm talking about the blaster, not the flying rat. I think that the Worker Seagull was like 150? Yeah, 150 on Amazon. Worker Seagull. That's a lot more money than a Nexus Pro X. But it depends on how often you think you'd replace that Nexus Pro X. Because I know people have broke Nexus Pro X's. Hey, Walcom, if you have an extra Raven, you should mod it to take Talons. I already have a blaster in mind that I've done that to, Lieutenant, which is my Halo MA40 thing. That just needs a new cage printed, and then it's set back up, and it would be done. And I'm just lazy. I think I even printed the cage out for it. Nerf is making a dancing zombie target and a zombie spinning target. I think I saw those. Ha-ha! Radioactive got a sale during this stream. Heck yeah. Nerf Pro Raven X. If they took the trigger from the newer bullpups that Nerf's been doing, yeah. That's one of the things with the Nerf Sprinter. That shell and that trigger are so good. Hey, Dominic. Worker's a really interesting company where they put out some real amazing blasters that are so hit and miss with the stuff they bothered to make injection molds for, and it's completely unhinged. Yeah, honestly, with like the Kunlun, right? I wasn't feeling it. When I got my hands on one, still don't know who sent one, by the way. When I got my hands on one, I'm like, holy crap, this thing's amazing. I think the Worker Kunlun is a fantastic blaster. I had a plan to do that, Hunter. It would require a couple of $1,000s. And I was thinking of doing it with like selling like sponsor spots on the vehicle through like, you pay X amount of money and you get this much space on the blaster for your logo, company logo, YouTube channel, whatever you want. And just covering every square inch of the vehicle with like sponsored spots to fund me actually buying the vehicle and upgrading it for Nerf destruction. But I think I estimated that to cost like a minimum of like 5,000 US dollars. I think I could do it, and I think it would be incredibly fun. It wouldn't be practical by any means, but I think I could do it. And I want to do it. But that kind of money and time investment, it's a thought. We talked about it on stream before. I don't know how much people are willing, because it's like, I think I did a lot of, I'd have to find a place that could do like a wrap, but it would be like, I think you'd have to have like a couple hundred, like, what was it? I think I was going to sell like a couple hundred at like $60 or $70 a pop. And like your thing would be immortalized on this video. And so if I ever take it anywhere, it would be on there. Honestly, if there was a lot of hype, there was a lot of hype for the Kunlun, but I haven't seen a ton about it. I'm even hosting a modding competition for it with actual prizes and almost nobody has entered. I didn't know about that. I got a spring from Spitfire Products that looked like it would be killer for the Kunlun. It doesn't fit on the shaft at the back of it, the spring guide. It's too thick, which is a shame. Hey, fella, nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. Psychic Magic, hey, a Walcom, Rival, Vision, or Mirage? Both are Mirage. Mirage. There's your answer. Go to that Canadian Tire and get a Mirage. Get two. I need a pro level injection molded lever action blaster. Yeah, we do. We really do. The expense of a single injection mold is typically like $10,000. Some half-baked pieces they've gone into production with is bonkers to me. I'm pretty sure they obviously work out of China, and I think that stuff's actually way cheaper there. So that probably has a lot to do with it. It's probably expensive to us, but if you're already like a native there, I think it's way cheaper. I'm like 2 days from pulling the trigger on that 185 Spitfire spring for the Outlaw mod, aiming for 200 plus. I can't fathom priming that. So this is like the one time that, what company was it, Blaster Parts, that had that ridiculously huge hammer? I didn't like it. I did a video on it. I didn't like the hammer. But it was literally meant for like fanning back to prime the blaster. And with the Outlaw, I think that would be better. That's another thing I want to do, is I want to do like a break action Outlaw. I think that's perfectly possible. I was looking for one of my Outlaws. I can't find them right now. That's like my biggest problem at the moment, is finding stuff. There's too much stuff, and I cannot find the stuff that I want to find. I need like 3 helpers and an afternoon to just go through boxes and start actually organizing the boxes. I need a box of just NERF Ultra. I need a box of just NERF Rival. I have boxes of Mavericks. I have boxes of Recons. I've got a box of Rapid Strikes. But like, even finding this, I had to look through like 8 or 9 different bins. And I have like a dozen of these. The Swift Plunger Rod fits in the Mark IV, right? Yes. I'm fairly certain it does, Mr. Molrad. I have not done it myself, but I have upgrade parts for the Swift that fit in the Mark IV. They're almost identical. What the heck is Merge Masters? Why is everyone in Nerf space? It's a competition for modding blasters. There's a link to it in the description. Like the rules. And I'm considering entering. Thoughts on the Nitro Shot Outlaws in teal and green? I saw those. I mean, it's just a color change. I don't honestly care all that much. My poor bottle. It's dying. My boy is dying. It won't be long now. I have heard of the Springer Perilous. I do not have one. The Desperado or the Venom Pro? Those are two completely different things, Clark. You get the Desperado because it's cheap. You get the Venom Pro because you have $50 and you know it's the best $50 blaster you could probably buy. Are there mods for the Mega Big Shock? There is like a rear loading, like inline clip for the Big Shock that you can make. I've wanted one, never built one. Are you at all interested in retro gaming? I mean, we're literally listening to, I hate the fact that this is retro. PlayStation 2 music. It is technically retro. But yeah, I grew up with an NES, Super Nintendo. I mean, I was born in 90. Have I modded the Desperado? Yes, and I have a video on it. I've also got RuneScape running in the background, although I'm not doing anything other than standing at the bank right now. Staring down the double barrel of a Slayer task for 155 blue dragons, and I'm not looking forward to it. That's a lot of dragons. 155, can't believe that. Will you drop a video about the Nexus Pro X versus Striker 2.0? Do people want to see that? Hasn't anyone else done that? I mean, I'll do the video. So here's my issue. I'm stupid. To me, that's low-hanging fruit that nobody wants to watch. But it is a good idea for a video. I could talk about that for hours. I'll tell you what, I'll do it. I'll do it. Screw it. Hey, Fowler, can you send me a link to that, or even just the STL to that pump grip you used? There is one thing I want to ask, chat. Chat, I love you. I occasionally respect you. But I usually don't want to poll questions like this because I don't think I'll get good feedback. I talked about this on stream, and I think it was at Quintic that convinced me. Is my target setup too close? And should I move it back? I've been thinking about it for a while. If I moved it back, it would be harder to film. But even just doubling the distance would make it more difficult, but it would also throw off all the data of all the testing I've done for like the last 8 months. Right now it is 15 feet away, which I'm not going to say is a lot, but the middle of the target, the yellow zone, the bullseye, that is only 1.5 inches wide. Okay, so 15 feet shooting at a 1.5 inch size target. And also, like, the main point of the target system is to, like, give me a thing that would allow me to, like, have a goal for shooting, right? Instead of just shooting, I have a goal for shooting, which is like what the score did. I was thinking of moving it back, but I also, like, the reason why I moved it forward is because it looks better on camera. I'm going to put up a poll. I'll put up a poll. All right, there's a poll. It is live. I'm not saying this is exactly what will happen, but I will take it into consideration. Walcom, can you come over so we can hang out? You're a wee bit ways away from me, aren't you, fella? It's gotta happen sometime. So, the thought I had in my head, 42 blades, was it's a simulated range. That was the thought. Like, I think people miss the idea. The idea isn't if I can hit the target, because the target is huge. This thing, the screen is like 24 inches diagonally. The test is to see, even at that range, even at 15 feet, if I cannot feel like I can hit the target, then the blaster just isn't precise. That was the entire point. If I can nail the same spot over and over and over again, it's good. And there are videos where I say, I don't feel like it's the blaster's fault I'm missing. I feel like it's mine. There are times, and there are people, I've fired, there's like 320,000 impacts on that middle target. I have fired literally hundreds of thousands of darts at it over the past, 4 years, 5 years? And yet people still don't think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to, is a blaster accurate or inaccurate? I can tell when I'm aiming if something doesn't work right. But I still see comments where people are like, well, why don't you use a shooter's rest so there's no guess? It's like, because it's boring content, man. And you don't shoot Nerf blasters from sitting down. But at the same point, if I'm not actually measuring the blaster, if I am measuring the blaster's accuracy, then that would be ideal. So I'm trying to do both, and maybe that's where I'm failing. I want to have, hey, Solinus, nice to see you, thanks for coming out. God, I could use your help sometime soon. I'm trying to have fun with it while seeing if in a practical application the blaster is accurate. If we want to be sincere, when I hit the target moves. It actually does bounce back and forth. And that's probably throwing off some of the accuracy claims too. People overwhelmingly seem to want it to have moved farther back. But I was reading Radioactives. I think keeping consistency is more important, but if people find further range more entertaining, but is another 10, 50 feet actually worth any entertainment value? I don't know. That's why I'm kind of asking. Is belt-fed mega feasible? Ask Domoshevsky. Check his Instagram. What are your thoughts on N-Series darts? They're not accurate, and they should be. I am tired of a Hasbro that doesn't consider accuracy important. They claim they're more accurate, but then they're in asterisks, they're 20% more accurate than the most inaccurate foam projectile we have made since the original Buzzbee, or the original X-Shot dart. It doesn't work that way. I'd come over, but Snoqual me. Ooh. You got a point.
Let's rock.
Plus, you have kids and whatnot. I kind of get it. King Kavosha. Any mod is practically possible, but is practical is a better question. Damn it, that's not what we did for this channel. We did this on pure impracticality. I still stand by the paradigm shift. I think the paradigm shift has a lot of redeeming factors that people vastly overlooked. Let me see. Captain Shotgun, this better include you having your pants on. I better not see any feet either. It will enrage me. So Rapid Strike. Ooh. So it's a Rapid Strike Raven, and it looks. Rapid Strike. No, it's not Rapid Strike Raven. It's a Straven. It looks really good. NGL looks really good. Make sure you use glazing putty over your actual putty so far, so you can get rid of a lot of those divots and scratches. That's what glazing putty is. Actually, I have some. Hold on, 1 second. So, when you've done the majority of your body work, let me throw up a picture of, pardon me, what I'm looking at here so you guys have some idea. Image. Properties. Browser. Desktop. This thingy. Done. Make my picture smaller, please. Oh my god, why is it so huge? I wish that's what she said, but she don't. This thing. This is from Captain Shotgun. And you can see how much they've been sanding there. I don't know what putty material they used. That stuff does not look ideal for sanding. So, I'm gonna give you that unsolicited Walcom advice, but it's a good moment for people out there who are curious. What's going on? You know what? Let's put this back behind like that.
Let's rock.
I can enlarge it and we can focus on specific areas. Stunt Pilot 22 with a $5 super chat. I don't know why Hasbro keeps trying to make proprietary darts. I can tell you why. At this point, they can really only get away with that for a few months at a time. The reason why they do that is money. They made all of their money through selling Elite Dart refills, which is one of the reasons why back in like the late 2010s, they were pushing so hard as use only official Nerf darts. Because Dart Zone, X-Shot were eating their lunch. Before, like, Buzzbee wasn't a competitor. Now, every single option is better than the stock Hasbro one. And they know it, and they're scared of it. They're not making the money they used to. And that's why they constantly make new ammo types that don't do anything better than what their normal ammo does. That's my biggest complaint with Hasbro. Nerf Ultra was different. They never did anything different with Nerf Ultra. So if we grab our pointer rat, this is all sanded, right? And you can see how coarsely that is sanded. I'm not sure what material you're using. There's not all epoxy putties are made equally. So I have 3 short tips for this kind of stuff. Granted, this is probably just your initial sanding, but we can see how much material. Come on, pointer rat. Give me the rat. How much material you've sanded out. A ton. So here's my first thing. When you need to fill in spots and you don't want to use putty, hot glue is awesome because then you can put the putty over the hot glue. That works pretty good. A lot of time what we did is because we used the methacrylate, the good stuff that actually melts the Nerf plastic together, the ADS plastic together. It's so hard to find. Oh my God, what was the name of it? I have some of it still, but it's obviously, it has a shelf life. That's what. But anyway, the material, the glue that is really good for Nerf stuff because it's flexible. DevCon plastic welder. So you can use that and then you can putty over that. But when you want to make it look pretty, after you've got your initial stuff in there, when you've gotten the set, like you got your shape and everything, you can do 2 things. If you're fine with this, what you need is called Bondo Glazing Spot Putty. This stuff is way thinner than what you would get from any other kind of putty. You can tell it's in like a tube. And what you do is you put that on there and you basically just shove it all over all those surfaces and it fills in all of these scratches and stuff like that. And then when you sand it away, it will be far smoother. You can get a glass-like finish on it using this stuff. And it's like $6-7 at Walmart. And a tube of this will last forever. It'll also show you, as you're applying it and sanding it, where you have low spots at. And this can kind of work as a filler. Again, Walmart is where I got this. But you can find it in a lot of different places. It's red. I don't want to like crack it open right now. I haven't used it yet. But I bought this for another project I'm trying to finish up. And it's like after you're done sanding, you put in all of that stuff. Yeah, it wasn't super glue. It's like metal acrylate or whatever. The stuff that DevCon plastic welder uses. But this is what you use to finish it. But if you're still not happy with your shape and you want a shape but you don't want it to be so hard to sand, you use epoxy sculpt. So epoxy sculpt is really good for shaping. It's not good for structural support. But you can use your normal big tube of epoxy if you want to make a big area that's really nice and secure. You can go over that with a thin layer of epoxy sculpt and sand that to get your shapes. And then you go over that with the spot putty. And with a decently high grit, you can make it shine like glass. So that is the kind of most important part of finishing up your build, because you get those scratches and those little pinholes and stuff in it. This will fix all of that. It's super cheap. It dries really quickly, and it sands amazingly easily. So yeah, thank you, Solonus. Yeah, methyl methacrylate is the name of that. I don't know if you can still get DEFCON plastic leather. It's disappeared so many times. I could only ever get it from like Ace Hardware. It's got a shelf life. You can't hold on to it. Yeah, they do still sell it. Oh, this is at some weird website. It's like a creamy color. It dries like the consistency of snot. But it's both, it melts the plastic, which is great, and then it's also flexible. So the problem with doing a lot of the like just epoxy, like 5-minute epoxy and stuff like that, is that it's brittle. It's not meant to flex. The same problem that a lot of things have. There's also, like, you can get some of that plastic, that epoxy that will bend, but it doesn't actually melt the plastics together. So if it bends a little bit, it'll just pop off. This has been the best stuff. That DevCon plastic welder. There are places online that still sell it. Looks like even Amazon has it in stock. The problem, it has a shelf life. That's the issue. What was my first mod? The first one I remember was putting a jolt in a fire strike. I front mounted a jolt where the light on the fire strike goes. I had pictures of it before. I don't know where it is now. Wait, you would low-key be a good dad. Could you adopt me? My dad is... That's not cool if it's actually happening. And this is not the chat for that. I'm sorry. And also, I'd be a terrible father. I am such a man-child. I do not want to share my toys. Darzo released 2 new 8+ blasters in 2024 and just recolored a lot of their older stuff. Yeah. I saw today that the blue X-Shot Pro Longshot has reached the UK. There you go. There you go. It's a great blaster. That one disappeared real quick off store shelves here. I never opened my Android Not Miku X-Shot Longshot. I only bought the one, and it's gone. I have no idea how you get it. Does anybody know like where that actually is right now? Morning, Skinny. Man, it's almost 11 already. Naptown University 7 and DevCon and Strife and 95 Crossbow. Yeah, Naptown Nerf made like one of the best like Strife crossbow integrations I've ever seen. Man, it's really good. That guy has a lot of talent, and I'm glad he's still making stuff. What's my favorite end strike blaster? Probably the Jolt. Walcom the Nerf Goat. My first mod was 3S Percy's. It's a pretty hefty first mod. I haven't seen the anime-inspired one yet, but we do have the Demon Slayer crossover list. Those have been around for years, haven't they? Anime one is at Walmart. I know that, but they're not at my Walmart anymore. My Walmart had them for like a week, and they're gone. Happy, cheap, junk food for sitting around the TV day. I'm not gonna watch. I don't even know who's playing in the freaking Super Bowl. Jack Taylor, hey Walcom, been a while. Glad to see you. Thanks for coming out. I picked up an Infidus for £3 from cancer research thanks to you. I would have paid more if it was going to cancer research. Infidus is what I want to do a video on the Infidus just because I love that blaster so much. It's still one of my favorites. When does the Super Bowl actually start? Doesn't it start kind of late? I'm a little worried the putty will chip off. Is there something I can put over it? I mean, that's what your paint and stuff is for. 5:30, and you're on East Coast, so like 2:30 my time, I think. Again, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't really care. Yeah, paint in general is going to protect your stuff from chipping. Uh, 42 Blades has got the lowdown on adhesives. Any interesting Nerf stuff recently? No! 3:30 our time, boss man. Oh. I guess he's like, said, okay, he says Central. Again, I'm not going to be watching it. I will most likely be doing something far less important than the foosballs. Oh, on the actual blaster? I mean, it looks sweet. I'm really interested to see how this pans out. The way you got that in there, like, that's a dual stage catch. It looks phenomenal. I like how you evened out, like, the divots. Like, the thing with the Strife is, like, as perfect as the body is, it's so over-designed for no reason. I like how you toned that down a lot. This looks good. I just saw how much material you sanded off and how scratchy it is, and I wanted to make sure we talked about that. Why did they take it down, Fala? Every single time I start streaming, there's like 30,000 messages on my phone. Yeah, I'll get that down. I'm going to print it out. Nothing really, Gus. We're just chilling, chatting, talking. Merge mastering ideas. It looks really similar to the one that Fetwurst made for the... In fact, it looks incredibly similar to the one Fetwurst made for the... Firefly. That's what it's called. That's it, like it. Oh man, yeah. I wonder if that has something to do with it. So it looks like that exact same grip, slightly cut down. I got an A1 Mini. What should I print? Whatever your little heart desires. Going through the stuff on like Etsy from Lethally Dynamics is probably the best place to start if you just need it. Like something. $10 and the hardware is super cheap. Like $10 for the files. No, that's fine, brother. I mean, sometimes I miss stuff too, but yeah, it's like every single time I start streaming, my phone's like, I don't know. Let's see. Usually when I stream, I lose a bunch of subscribers. Let's see if that held out this time. 122, refresh, and 127. We actually gained 5. Hey, Walcom, is the XL Turbo Advance of the NERF Modulus Mediator XL worthy of tagback? I do want to talk about the Modulus Mediator. That is a blaster I absolutely want to talk about. Turbo Advance, I don't know if I have. I might have one. Have you seen all the leaked blaster names and accessory leaks? I think I saw a picture of the accessories, which I was like, oh, that's cute. I don't really care all that much. I don't think I've seen leaked blaster names. At this point, is the Caliburn worthy of attack back? I found my original Caliburn. It's been sitting out on the deck, and it stopped catching a long time ago. But yeah, that's like, what, 2017? See, I gotta find my Mediator main blaster, but I think I found the stock with the double shot in it, and I think I found the front piece. I need to find the original. Gavin, I think, had like one of the sickest like pump action kits for the Mediator, and the Mediator was honestly like, it's so compact for what it is. I really like it. Yeah, there's only a couple of double strike derivatives. I have all of them. One of them is the Mediator one. I don't know if that's expensive now, but I know the Duet is, and I have found 2 Duets in the Blaster Horde. None of the little socket gems, but I do have 2 Duets. Funny that you say that, Mr. Molerat. I just saw somebody, I printed it out. There's like a whole new kit for the Dominator that turns it short dart and gives you short dart mag. Like, you have to print it out, but double stack short dart mag and a whole bunch of, like, it looked awesome. I wonder if it's still in my... Was it on printables? I printed out. The parts are literally, it fell off my desk. Let me see here. Worker Dominator. Yeah. It's by Eric. And it's like a whole... I'm going to post it in the chat. I did print out all the stuff but the mag. Where's the live streaming thingy? There it is. It should pop up in the chat here. Yeah. So, I don't know of anybody who's talked about this. I printed it out a long time ago. I have no idea who Eric is. But, yeah, that looked real sweet. Got about $100 in Amazon gift cards. Any recommendations? Whew, that's pretty close. If you doubled that, you can get a Kunlun. Actually, I think Kunlun's like $230. What blows my mind is my original Caliburn, right? Was so not fun to use because the prime was so horrendous. And back then it was like, holy crap, it's like maybe 200 FPS. I'm not 150, 200. I think it's like 150. Like, it wasn't really like as insane as it was. And it was so incredibly hard to use and everything like that. And now it's like I can get stuff that has a pinky prime that hits 200 FPS. And that's what blows my mind. I actually do have a Twist Fury. I need to do a video on that. Is it possible to find anything good for under $100? So much. So much. Most of the hobby under $100 is good. If you have a printer, $100 will buy you pretty much any hardware kit you need. And then you could also get, like, crap, pretty much every Pro Blaster. Like, what? The only things you can't get are, like, Worker and some other, like, kind of niche stuff. But, yeah, I should probably... I printed all this stuff out for the Worker Dominator. I meant to do it because I have 2 Dominator shells laying around. Which means all of my Dominator mags are worthless. I mean... I don't want to open up a can of worms because I know... Bamboo is in hot water right now, which is totally great. That all happened after I did the ad for him. But I don't think anybody who bought those printers are going to be disappointed. And I think the ad stuff was really overblown. I do understand where people are coming from, but I think even my video is pretty straightforward. You had to use an app, and it was much like Apple. Apple has the capability of doing everything evil that Bamboo Labs was accused of. The difference is, if Bamboo did that, it would kill their entire company. And same thing with Apple. Apple at any point could just say, oh, no, your phone doesn't work anymore. Sorry, bye. You bought it? You bought an iPhone 17? It doesn't work. We're done. We're bored. They can do that at any time. There's almost nothing you can do about it. Oh, somewhere in an end-user license agreement, you agreed to this, so when you bought the phone, you agreed that we could shut it off a week later, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, that's what we're doing because we're bored. We don't want to do this anymore. We hit $7 trillion market cap. We don't need you anymore. Bye. I mean, there would be class action lawsuits and stuff like that, but we're kind of hoping that Bamboo doesn't do that. But the net positives of what Bamboo does, especially for new 3D printer users, cannot be understated. And I find it hilarious. I mentioned in my video how if you could like buy the hardware on the Maker World page and then print out the blaster, that would be, they have that feature now. I doubt I had anything to do with it, but it's still really cool they did that. I got to try it at Walmart for $35. Absolute steal, Alex. I honestly like playing a long shot from Sam's over it. I can see that. I can see that. I was going to return it and get my Mauler, get a Mauler, but showed it to my son before. I would keep it. For $35 for a try-on is good. That's, you can't just keep it. I don't think, like the Mauler, the thing with the Mauler, the reason why the Mauler is so good is the exact same thing I was critical of when I first started the stream, where it's like, performance shouldn't really be factored like to sell the blaster. But the thing with the Mauler is it is like the strongest $40, like 250, 280 FPS is just stupid. Those things hit so hard. And from my testing was reasonably accurate for what it was. Wasn't it like a single day of Bamboo trying to pull their crap back and they rolled it back after backlash? They didn't actually, I don't remember. I just know people are still pouncing on Bamboo and I think it's overblown. They were like, they stopped you from being able to use like outside slicers and stuff with Bamboo because people were doing stuff they didn't like, which is bad. But again, that doesn't affect my initial review of the thing. It's like, I was like, you have to use this. You have to have an app. Is it optimal? No, but it's like, I worked in a phone store for 5 years. If everybody would have just had iPhones, my job would have been so easy. The things you can do with an Android phone is awesome. Absolutely awesome. 9 times out of 10, people screw up their phones because they're doing too many random things, or they give it to a kid who's going through settings and screw up their phone, or they forget their Google password, and a Google password is a lot harder to get back than an iPhone or an Apple password, all that kind of stuff. And you can, it's so frustrating. If everybody had iPhones, my job would have been easy peasy. I'm almost like, I'm gonna go work at an iPhone store because I'm tired of this. Travis says the Pilot is one of the best blasters. Yeah, I agree. Pilot is amazingly fun. Get a Pilot before they become expensive. Wear recon tag back? I don't really have anything to say about a recon right now, unfortunately. I could probably make a video. There are stuff to talk about. I just don't feel that, it's the word I'm looking for, like inspired to talk about the recon at the moment. Did anybody make a pump action kit for the Fury X yet? Yes, I have seen more than a couple. Why you would do that, I have no idea, but you know, you do you. Excuse me, sorry, drinking diet soda. What's everybody's thoughts on the Blackberry Dr. Pepper? Do we have any strong feelings in the audience? I like how New York is like, oh no, you gotta have a license to buy a 3D printer. It's like, you should need to have a license to buy a smartphone now. It's ridiculous. Oh no, I'm gonna get logged out of RuneScape. I'm doing so much sitting in the bank. I've found several recalled ones, General Strife. No, it does taste like NyQuil. I've gotten more used to it, but it doesn't taste what you would expect. I haven't had the sugar one yet either. But carbonated NyQuil is not far off. I really want to get my hands on that new Pepsi. I do have a corpse of one somewhere, Travis. I had plans for one. Will I ever actually finish it? I doubt it. You're not the first one to say that, 42 Blades. I was talking to Ivan. He's like, have you ever had Moxie? It tastes like syrup, or like cough syrup. And I'm like, I never have, I don't think. I should try it sometime. I know, like, root beer outside of the US people hate because it tastes like medicine. Have a good night, Goji. Good day. God. I mean, I've been up since like 3 or 4, but... What's the recalled Recon? So the original Recon, let's see if I can find this. NERF Recon Recall. So the original Recon, let's I think we have like an internet capture tab. Why does it not show up? Why does it not show up? There it is. One second. This takes a little bit longer live than I'd like it to. So... we have... get out of studio mode. Basically, it had that big, long plunger tube thing that would come out. And it would say on it, armed, I believe. I have one. I don't want to go searching for one right now. But, yeah. That would shoot out the back when you primed it, and it would say armed. And that would catch people's hair and stuff like that. And, yeah, it was recalled because it was hurting kids. So, new ones didn't do that. They had a cover. Let me see if I can find a pre... If you looked at, like, this one, notice how it has the cover on it. So that was the thing that they did after that. They just extended out a little cover so that it always had this back end on it. So the pre-ones didn't. They were like that. Is that really worth $50? Because I think I have literally 6 of them right now. But yeah, that's what they did. So the recalled ones had the plunger tube that would shoot out the back, which is super cool. That's the recall. So if you have one that does that, you have a rarer version. Because the new ones all had a cover over them. Trying to see if there's a better picture. Yeah. What's really interesting is that, like, that cover doesn't go back very far. But if you look at, like, the recall ones, that thing shoots out real far in the back. I've never noticed that. Wonder why. Super sick, in my opinion. I love the scene in Deep Space Nine where 2 aliens talk about how root beer embodies everything they hate about humans. I haven't seen that. I'm going to have to look that up. I've seen a fair bit of Deep Space Nine. I think 42 Blades, Hasbro tries to avoid anything that's unnecessarily violent. I say that. They have an aliens or alien blaster. I don't know. I saw lime Coca-Cola. Ooh, that's a throwback. Got the complete standard N-Strike Recon along with the strong arm. That was what really got me into Nerf. The strong arm is so cool. That was such an underrated blaster in my opinion. Purchased both a Curveball 77 and an inverted scales after seeing your reviews. Which one do you prefer to use? I didn't get too deep with the inverted scales, simply because, like, I didn't have any idea of how to, like, take it apart and stuff like that, because mine was modified from the factory. And the other inverted scales I have is a bullpup one with a bullpup kit, so I also can't mess around with that one. I really liked how the 77, you could just, like, it's super compact, super thin, hits pretty hard. You can easily swap out the spring. I swear to Crom, if a Kurtawa 77.5 were to come out, where they fix the screw threads on the front, the metal plates that hold the front end on, they switch it to a buffer tube stock from the factory, and replace that push button like on-off switch with something else, whatever is better than that push button thing, I think it would be an unbeatable blaster. So I'm probably going to say the 77 nerfed Battlefield. So is that cap different than the ones they put on the new ones? The new era? I guess it is, yeah. Crap. I don't know if I have one of these. That has got to be a really rare part. Because, like, that is definitely... There we go. This is absolutely... Come on, let me grab the rat. That one is the normal one. That's a fixed recall, and that's the original that was recalled. This plunger tube cap, I don't know if I have. To be honest, I wouldn't be looking for one. That's probably rare. It's not worth anything, but it's probably rare. I'm not honestly that sure. I mean, if you really like it, 0 blocks, you could. I don't think it's worth the time. It's a Maverick. It is so cold up here. My lips are just constantly chapped. What was the most iconic Nerf gun? I've heard so many people have different answers. It's most likely the Maverick. It's kind of hard to beat the Maverick. I'd have to look through my box of Maverick or my box of recons to see if I have that middle one. I don't think I do. That's really interesting, though. Good. Wait a minute. It's not evening. There's a Walcom stream. Yeah, J-Ro, we started streaming just to have fun. Probably not going to go too much longer. There's lunch in my future at some point. Did you see they brought back Uncle O Grimacy for Shamrock Shakes? I've never liked Shamrock Shakes. I don't like mint. Oop, that's the background. Oop, there we go. It's a whiteout, and I like my Asimov Maverick. I mean, at that point, if you want to squeeze as much performance as you can out of it, I think you can brass the barrels. You can't use too much brass, that's for sure. You'd probably get a little bit of, like, kick out of it, though. I'm not sure. Pepsi or Coke? Probably Pepsi. Cool hoodie. I am actually boiling in this right now. Oh, it is warm and toasty. At least my, like, upper body is. My feet are freezing, and I'm wearing Jigglypuff socks to go with it. Shamrock is mint? No, I'm almost certain Shamrock Shakes are chocolate mint. I remember this argument with my grandpa because he bought one and I was drinking it, and I was probably being disrespectful. But it's like I was drinking this, like I didn't really like it, and I would rather have like strawberry. And I think I asked him if he wanted the rest of it because I was like, I just don't really. He's like, what do you mean? What's wrong with it? And we're like, I don't really mint, and it tastes like mint. It's not mint. It doesn't have mint in it. I'm like, it tastes like mint, and I just don't really. I'm not feeling it. It's not a very strong. I mean, I get that, but it's also like I just don't really like it. I'm pretty sure. I'm Googling Shamrock Shake. Are minty shamrock shaped syrups topped with light whipped cream. mint flavored milkshake. I thought it had chocolate to it too. Like, I know it wasn't brown like chocolate, but yeah. Walcom, how can I fix an N-Strike long shot that's a speed load 6 spring? Upgrade speed load 6 spring. That won't catch. Get a better, stronger catch spring, like a pen spring or something. It's not that it's cold. I'm cool. No, I know what you meant, Dominic. I'm sorry. No, it's just like I actually can see how hot it is. This green screen's helping too, but it is. Where I'm sitting, I have my printer has a thermometer in it, and it's 54 degrees in this room, which is okay, but I've had a heater on up here for the last 2 hours. It's cold, and I'm tired of it being cold. I'm gonna have to start something on my computer so that will rev up. Oreo Blizzard for the win. They don't do the Butterfinger Blizzard anymore, do they? That was really good. How would I gather a producer role in the Discord? I mean, I'm not the biggest Nerf tuber. It's kind of like giving out on like a merit basis. It's usually not something you ask for. It's just something like, oh, hey, we should probably give this person producer. There's no strict requirements for it. The reason why it's like that is so there's no like, oh, I technically have 1,000 subs. It's like, yeah, but you're not a Nerf channel. We don't know you, that kind of thing. The whole point of the producer channel is so at least the idea of it back in the day was so people could collaborate easier. They had their own area where they could collaborate. Yeah, Black Widow, it's during the day for some insane reason. I just felt like streaming and I missed yesterday. Anjanea, I think that's how you pronounce it. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. Holiday Spice Pepsi, that sounds pretty good. I still have a pineapple Pepsi in the fridge behind me. That kicks so hard. How did I come up with your profile pic? That was done by Slater. He took like the idea that Clowny did and made the wording and stuff look a little Kamen Rider-y. That's how he did it. Yeah, I have a pineapple Pepsi in my fridge back there. I haven't drank it. It's probably bad now. Bring back Crystal Pepsi. That was pretty good. We had that one summer, it's like 2017, 2018, where we had Surge and Crystal Pepsi back at the same time. And Zima, which I actually don't remember trying. Should have. My last chance probably to ever try that. I probably had it 42 blades, but it's been a while. The thing I miss the most, besides Surge, which actually Vault was better and it was like the same thing, Pitch Black 2. Mountain Dew Pitch Black 2. That was only there for a summer and it disappeared and never came back. Pitch Black we've had a couple of times. It's currently MIA again. But Pitch Black 2 was the bestest. I know some people were big fans of Pepsi Blue. I hated it. It tastes like identical to like a blue raspberry icy. Pretty much the same thing. Some psycho on Reddit got his Maverick to shoot past 120 FPS with the original plunger. Hi, I am that psycho, says Radioactive's Designs. Can you try combining two ultimate infinities? Do you mean the Nerf Infinite? Infinus? Double Nerf Infinus? I don't know if I could do a double Nerf Infinus. me see if this is what you mean. That thing? That would be like a foot thick. Yeah, it's getting kind of frustrating, General Strife. Not gonna lie. Would it though, Radioactive, Infinite, and Infamous together? If you could load the chain mag with the Infamous loading, that would go so hard, Nerf. That would go so hard, Nerf. My headcanon, Ewo's trains. My headcanon is Mag 212 hit puberty. Found girls and didn't look back. He won't look back until his mid-20s when he misses Nerf, and that's when we'll probably see him again. Yes, Mag 212 was very talented. We've seen it more a couple of times with like the little kid. I would say that obviously Nerf is for kids and I'm an adult. But it was funny watching like Nerf Boy productions and stuff. Like you say them hit puberty and suddenly Nerf isn't cool anymore. And it's like, you'll be back. You'll just wait until your mid-20s. You'll be back like a bad habit. I got myself a double punch to review for Christmas, another one for my friend. I need a cheap double punch to pop up somewhere. Is it still prohibitively expensive? $35. Ugh. I need a cheap one. I want a couple of cheap ones. Hey, look at that. I know that idiot. I recognize that idiot. Okay. Chat. Why? I don't know where my double punch is at the moment. Why has nobody just taken 2 flywheel cages, normals fly, and just stuck them like that and put it inside of the... Why is that not possible to do with this setup? Radioactive, help me out here. Why has nobody done that? That doesn't help me, Smith or Jack. I'm not in the UK. And it'd be prohibitively expensive to import one. Walmart does have them. Even Amazon has them for $35 apparently. You guys can't see it. $35. It's not awful. It's just not cheap enough. I need like $15 double punches. I want to experiment. Yeah, it only has 2 motors. And I was wondering why nobody's done like a 2 flywheel cage. That has to be possible, and I don't know why it hasn't been done. Yeah, sure, you'd have to cut holes in the side of it, but that's a small price to pay in my opinion. I'm well aware what Argos is. That would be sick, Urban Radagast. That would be super sick. I'll have to wait until I find one at a Goodwill, J-Ro. Hopefully it won't be too long. Because I still only have the one, which is why I haven't done anything with a double punch. And I'd love to get one in box to keep, although I hate the fact that it comes in the open face packaging. I would love to get one in package and keep it around, but I'd also really love to get a couple to mess around with. Soda Pop, are you okay? You keep spamming the same thing over and over again, and I don't know why. Are you okay? Do you need help? Is this your cry for help? Is shorts... while stocked, useless ammo holders and cheap mags fires faster than anything. It's the best. It really is. Like, I want to build one of these into a proper beast. And it just blows my mind. I have not seen, like, I have to be missing something why nobody has done what I'm talking about. Because I think if you have the side-by-side flywheels, is it like, even if it had side-by-side flywheels, it should still be possible to do 2 cages, flywheel to flywheel like that. Whatever proper spacing needs to be done, and be able to modify it. And I haven't seen that. I don't know where my double punch is. Otherwise, I just grab it and look at it and go like, oh, that's why. I have to look for it. Hey, Fallon. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. I mean, it's not the first time they've done that, Soda Popper. They had different bamboo darts with the blasters they shipped and different than the ones they sold separately. Some had 3 ridges, some had 2. I think the ones they sold separately only had 2. You suck, Clark. Take it back, nerd. It's cheaper to buy a double punch for 50 darts than the actual refill packet thing. Yeah, Nerf is dumb. Nerf is so silly. Pepsi, you mean mixer? You mean people drink straight mixer? Yeah, some people do. Do you have a love for Star Wars blasters like I do? I'm not really a Star Wars fan, Steve. Not to throw shade on it. It's perfectly fine. I'm just not a huge Star Wars fan. Double punch with 2 infinises on the back? Yeah, I don't think that's possible. The bags are way too close together. Yeah, I don't think you can. Did you see the blue and green Outlaws? I did, yeah. I mean, I don't like the Outlaws much as other people do, but they're fine blasters, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we need Gmod physics so I can just shove them really close together and have my blasters constantly making that thunking sound. I poured a glass of tonic water thinking it was sparkling water. It was not just sparkling water. Ugh. They're pretty thick. That's the reason why the Infinus is like that thick at the back of it. I just got an Infinus for like $4 somewhere. Ugh. Try and integrate an Infinus under a 95 crossbow, a sniper shot. That's a lot of use for a 95 crossbow, mate. Ugh. 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 No, my spare crossbow shell I gave to Zach, so Jacksmay. Z. Yeah, no, the Infinus is pretty dang big. It's thick. You're about to log out from being idle too long. Oh, you can idle my face. Why don't I just have a set of custom wheels on a single set of motors that are just 2 wheels stacked on top of each other with the bearings into the other side of the cage for stability? I mean, I would assume the same reason, like you'd lose a lot of power. The wheels would be heavier, and having to deal with the friction of the constant. I mean, I think you could do it, but I don't know how viable that is. Does anyone know what happened to Explorer? I mean, I'm pretty sure they've been done for a while. When all your blasters are like, your Jolt knockoff is $500, there's an issue. People actually use 95 crossbows. I thought they'd be too worried about the shells breaking. Plan to replicate them. Fell through. I mean, not really, but they're still iconic. I'd want 150 FPS out of it, radioactive. But let's be fair. I love the double punch enough that I would buy it. I would wholeheartedly spend hundreds of dollars on a brushless one. Not that I have hundreds of dollars to spend, but I would. Hey, I'm thinking of buying the X-Shot Fury X today. Do you think it's better than the other one that's bigger? I kind of think so. In my opinion, Hayland. I don't know, chat. That's something to think about. What's our poll doing? I've been off on the wrong side of the internet. Well, most people do want it farther back, but not as much as I thought. Interesting. A rival Infinus would go hard. Did you ever get any more of those Chinese shotguns on the Model 1887? I have so much. I should actually ask where the overalls I bought are. But I need to do the Nerf dumpster diving because I have so many knockoff blasters. It is really comfy, Jack. I'm never going to say the Infinus or the crossbow, 95 crossbow is not comfy. It is comfy. I do have one out-of-box crossbow. Just don't mind me just doing channel moderating stuff. My mods are actually enjoying their Sunday off. Oh my god, I lost the chat. Where's the chat? Hoppers seem more effective than the Infinus mechanism. The Infinus mechanism would be perfect if it was like 50% faster. That's my biggest issue. It just needs to be 50% faster. I'd settle for 30. But you should be able to just like constantly load darts into it, and it's slightly too slow. I want a gun that competes with the Nexus Pro X. That's not even that hard. There's a lot of blasters that compete with the Nexus Pro X. The thing is, the Nexus Pro X is cheap, and it's good for being cheap. Let's overclock an Infinus. Apparently you can do 6 volt, and you can run a Honey Badger on the motor that runs the mechanism. It's just, man, that thing looks like frickin' Gygus, whatever, from Earthbound inside. There's so much wire. Honestly, regarding target distance, you know, it's best for what you're going for. I'd be interested in seeing. I want to make it so I want to do more over the shoulder action, and I can't get a tripod up that high. So the other day, like the last time I was using it, I was desperately trying to lift my tripod up, and I couldn't. Like, I couldn't find a way to like keep it stable and be higher up. But I need a tripod that's like can go up to like 8.5 feet tall or something. We need Nerf Marvel Rivals. I wonder if we'll actually see that. I still have not played that. I think I downloaded it the other day, but I still have not played it. Hey, Karna. Some would say there's too many blasters that compete with the Nexus Pro X. That's kind of true, Smith. That's kind of true. Hi, Walcom. What do you expect to see from Pro in 2025? I'm hoping to see a lever action. I'm hoping to see a Pro Strife from X-Shot. That's kind of like my 2 goals right now. I just want to see some new stuff, though. My wish list would be Dart Zone does a Pro lever action that is a Conquest-style mag reload. Hey there, Walcom. Do you think Rival will get discontinued this year? The fact that we're already going through February and there's no hint of Nerf Rival, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that means Rival's gone. I think the Challenger and the Mirage were the last 2. I could be wrong. Somebody earlier was talking about Nerf leaks, like names. If there was Rival in that, maybe. But it certainly seems like Rival's on its way out. Don't forget there's still hobby collab designs coming from Buzzbee. Yeah, but Buzzbee stuff is like, even when it's good, it's... like, it's just the way Buzzbee makes their stuff. It's... I don't know. It's like always cheap, brittle, creaky, shiny plastic. Somebody else was saying you see the NERF leaks names, and I said I hadn't. Do you think we'll get tube mag shotgun with hobby performance from Dart Zone? Maybe. I mean, the Firefly already exists. Oh, that's another video I need to do. Damn. If Rival goes, Nerf will need something drastically good. I mean, Nerf said that N series is the future of the brand. Oh, you know what? Someone did exactly what you're referring to with the flywheel. Somebody has? I was like, it's such a simple idea. There's no way it hasn't been done. Can you send it to me? I'm on this. Okay. Well, it's on the... It's on a an FDL platform, kind of. But is that... That's so whack. But yeah, that's literally what I was pretty much talking about. Out of both barrels. Yeah, okay. I see it. Is that tube shotty that Silly Butts is making? Why is it not the Mangzang? Oh, God, I want to post that video. No, I wonder if he... I don't... Okay, it's better to just do and ask for forgiveness later, I guess. You better hit that like button. Where is it? Look at this. How is that not the most anticipated blaster ever? Right? 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 One more time. Can we do it again? We can do it again. One more. And I can already hear the neckbeards in the comments. That's not safe. If you bring that in my war, I'm gonna ban it. You're missing the point. Also, you could literally like just untwist out a thing to grab pull the spring. It's so good. It's gonna be one of the best blasters this hobby's ever gotten. Somebody, oh, I wish this wasn't a blade. I wish it was a rifle. Yeah, it's on its way, Fallon. It's done by Phantom. Well, it's designed by Shanye, but Phantom Toys is gonna be the one distributing it to all the other places. So yeah, that is one more time. Because I'm getting excited again. For a video I don't know if I'm allowed to show. My goodness.
Let's rock.
Oh my gosh. It's so perfect. Also, he made it pump action. $2 super chat from Spectral Filmer. Siren Blinker Omnia Gen 3. I have no experience with the Omnia Gen 3. What I have experience with is the Omnia Gen 1 and 2. I don't know how much theoretically better the Gen 3 is. I have no clue. The jump between 1 and 2 wasn't that much. The Blink beats it out of the park. The Gen 3 fell into that trap where it's like, it wasn't useful for semi-auto, it wasn't useful for full auto. And the Blink, I think, does a way better job of that. It's not perfect, but it's also got the lipo charger and all that stuff built into it. It's in a really sick form factor, in my opinion. I don't know though. I think the Gen 3 looks better, But it would have to be remarkably better than the Gen 2 for me to even... I don't have one, so I can't tell you. If Dart Zone would send me one, I'd do another video. Get an actual blade for... Oh my god, I'd love to be out there hacking wood with a Nerf blaster. That'd be so sick. I would be surprised if Rival is dead, considering it was always selling really well. Yeah, but it's Hasbro. Complete non sequitur, but every time I look at the dancing around of the
Let's rock.
Serotonin. Well, that's good. It's a cute rat. Spectral Filmer with another $2 super chat. BK1S or Kurtawa 77. If you can get a 77 and you can tinker and you're not averse to it, I think the 77 is overall a better buy, especially for like, what, $200 compared to $150 for the BK1S. If you don't tinker and you need something that just works out of the box, BK1S for sure. Yeah, Fallon, I 100% agree. But Hasbro. I literally hope that I'm wrong. I hope that we see a big release from Nerf Rival this year. But considering what? 2024, we got the Mirage and the Challenger. That's it. And they launched by this time last year. And we knew about them months before that. Go back one more. We got what? The Pilot? The Pilot and, like, I don't even remember all, like, the only one I remember is the Pilot. We got, like, a pump action thing, didn't we? Wasn't the Pathfinder. Forerunner, which I wasn't a big fan of. Yeah, I didn't think that was that great. The Fate did not come out the same year as the... No, the Fate came out the year before that. That was 2022. I'm almost certain of it. What also came out? We got the... Was it just the Pilot and the Forerunner? Was that it? It might have been it. I'm holding out for the 5-runner. Pilot is one of the best Nerf blasters. Pilot showed us that Nerf can make quality, interesting, good stuff for cheap, and they just refused to. The fact that the Pilot was only $10 blows my mind. Like, I can't believe they put that out there. Because it honestly was just one of the few times since the barrel break we got actual break action from Hasbro. I think I have one or two in box. They're not in stock anywhere right now by the looks of it. Like, you could still get takedowns. And takedowns were good. I think the Pilot was better.
Let's rock.
Another $2 super chat from Spectral Filmer. Thank you very much. Pilot or DZ Solo? Probably the Solo, to be fair. Solo's pretty good. I hope you're wrong, Radioactive. Rival is out. 1-inch wide foam balls with a nub on the back. R-Series R1 rounds. They really set themselves up. Like, they're like, here's the N1 darts. It's like, okay, where's N2? I'm holding out for N3. I was just talking about that EOS trains. I'm hoping they do it. I'm hoping they have a little bit of experience to do a pro flywheeler. Because I think they could now. They have their batteries and tech from the like the HPG7 and stuff like that. And they also have flywheelers now with both the Rage Fury, the Rage Fire, and the Clipmania. So there's a decent chance we'll see one. I like them, Sean. I think they're really good. I just think, I don't know. It's hard to say that if they're worth it because they always seem to be way more expensive. Then again, look at like NERF AG or Airsoft AGs. Those are also pretty expensive. So I kind of get it. Mediator or Kronos? Oh, the Mediator looks so good. But the Kronos is a better blaster, I think. Have you seen the Dart Zone Grasshopper League? Yeah, I posted it to my channel months ago. Wonder when we'll see that. Of merging, I want to talk about the sad lack of rival merges. 3x3 Atlas, I'm going to call it the Cerberus. Like the one from the finals. I meant to do a double Atlas at one point. So you could do, you know, quad shots. Rebel was not even underrated. Rebel was criminally underrated. It was one of Nerf's best brands. All right. It's been a while. I think we're gonna wind it down. I kind of want lunch. I'm a little hungry. How was streaming early though? What's thoughts on that? Do you guys like it at night or do you guys like it during the day? I haven't even actually seen how many people were watching. The counter on OBS froze a long time ago. Live streaming. Yeah, it says we have 66 people watching. Our peak was 90. Wow. I don't know. Maybe I have to do 2 streams. It's like when I just don't feel like streaming though, it's kind of hard. Yeah, I really don't think it does. Nothing in OBS works. I really wish there was a more YouTube-friendly chat platform or a streaming platform. All the cool things are all for Twitch. I wish the YouTube chat had way better stuff. Best part of waking up is Walcom in your cup. That came out wrong. Obviously broken soft. That's good. That's gold. Aw, thank you, Ingrid. It's warm and comfy. That's why we have it. What happened to Nerf Zombie? We had literally 3. Yeah, because all 3 of those blasters were kind of garbage. I never even did a video. They were so bad. It's not Nerf Zombie Strike. It's awful.
Let's rock.
Spectral Filmer with a $2 super chat. Okay, last one. Do you think Nerf is actually going to continue the N1? I don't. They said it was the future of their entire company. So, last time I checked, Hasbro stock was doing pretty okay. Hasbro stock. Well, it's down 1% today. 5-day, it's actually on the rise. 1 month, it's doing okay. 6 month, ooh. 1 year. 5 year? Oh, poor Hasbro. 5 days on a little bit of a rebound, though. Buy the dip. It's down 8% over the last 6 months, though. Yeah, probably, Tomsky. This is true. I've noticed that. Honestly, they released a lot for N series. We got quite a bit of N series the first year, but we also got quite a bit of Ultra the first year, and that's dead, so. N1 will mean big money when they reintroduce Elite blasters for that sweet nostalgia. I think they should have went with what they were doing with like the Nerf Pro line, where they made the Strife X, and they should have just went through like, here's the Retaliator X, here's, you know, all of their End Strike blasters, but proified. That probably would have went a lot better. Yeah, but most of the stuff we got, Quiet, was garbage. Like, that's undeniable. We're getting the Nerf N Series double impact. I'm not holding my breath. I like the fact that the Infinite did something different with the chain mag. I wish it worked better. I like that. I hated how underwhelming the pinpoint was. I thought the pinpoint was pretty meh. So meh, I couldn't even finish the blaster. I really thought the agility was good. But it's like, it's so hard to like, oh, that's a really cool blaster when it's literally the same thing Nerf has made a dozen times already. Every single time they make a new dart, they have to make a Maverick for it. It's just what Hasbro does. Everything else is like the biggest flaw of N series I see going forward. And I think what's gonna, is they're still treating it like Elite 2.0, where Elite 2.0 is this mishmash of, oh, it's N-Strike Elite, but it's also what is it? Alpha Strike. It's like, so you'll buy one Elite 2.0 blaster, like the, what do you call it? The, Double Punch, and it's amazing. And then you buy the Nerf whatever Tetrad, and it's like garbage. Like, it's not terrible blaster for whatever, $6-7 or whatever, but you get what I mean. It's like clipped together, really poor quality, and you can't tell because they're both in the same series. And N series is already doing that, where it's like half the blasters are actual landfill garbage, and then a couple of them are somewhat high quality. But I can already tell you, I don't like the plastic quality of N series at all. I hate that thin, rubbery, almost super soaker quality plastic they're using. And I don't mind budget blasters, but it's like, what's the point of so many crappy smart AR blasters? So many. They're all the same in a slightly different shape. I'm tired of it. And it's not like they're even at different price points. You'll get the same dumb blaster. Oh, here's the pistol. Here's the shotgun. It's the same thing. It's the same exact internals. We just put a bigger barrel and a pump grip on it. Oh, here's the rifle. It's the same blaster. It's just with different garbage surrounding. I'm so tired of Hasbro doing that. I cannot be the only one. Nobody is going out there saying, oh, I think the Alpha Strike Fang is the best blaster. There's like 30 blasters in Alpha Strike that are all similar to the Fang. I'm tired of it. So tired of Hasbro doing that. If you want to make a budget line, make a budget line. I can't, Zuru's gonna just, I saw Zuru Legos the other day. I don't know how good they are, but I saw Zuru Legos and I'm like, oh my God, Zuru is just going after everybody's throat right now. Like, it is insane. And if Zuru can get their like printing done, like I think I said it last stream, is like, Zuru, if you imagine like Zuru Gundam model kits with the printing that they do already on the pieces that are on the runner, so you don't have to do decals if you don't want to. The idea, like, and they sell for so cheap. That's the thing with Zuru stuff, is it's just so cheap. So, like, I bought a couple of those Miniverse things for the first time, and I was like, holy, the detail on the printing is amazing, and these things are tiny and they're cheap. I don't get it. How do you sell these tiny little things for $5-7 for like 4 of them, 5 of them in a little package, and they have this much detail and they're so cool? How do you make money off that? I don't get it, Zuru. But apparently they do, because they sell 1 billion of them. And it just blows my mind how much Zuru is doing. And it's like, it scares me, because it's like, pretty soon the only people that are going to be on the shelf is Zuru. Like, Lego's not going to go where Zuru's not going to put Lego out of business. But Lego focuses so much on their proprietary, like their collaboration stuff, the rival Marvels and stuff like that, the Batman, the Indiana Jones, the Jurassic Park, all that stuff. Like, they're so big on that. It's like, I really miss when Lego did like knights and pirates and like the old stuff. And the other thing is, like, there's no possible functional reason why when I go to a store and I look at a Lego, like, oh, look at that Lego pirate ship. Oh, they want $280. No. Look at this Lego TV set NES combo pack thing. No, that's $400. No, I'm not ever going to buy that. Like, I saw a Lego set, it was like $40 and it had like 170 pieces in it. I'm like, what the heck? Like, it was like a Chewbacca, like, speeder bike set. It was like $40 and it's like barely anything. I'm like, how do you make money? Well, I know you make money off that, but who the heck's buying it? I would rather just have like space and rock raiders and stuff like that. And like if Zuru comes in, it's like, yeah, here's Zuru Max Rock Raiders. And it's like, oh, well, if this is any good at all, Lego in trouble. The Zuru Max I saw was like roses, which Lego's really big on those flower things. I think they're rad. I actually kind of wanted to get the Christmas wreath that Lego did, but it's like $100. $100 for a couple of Legos. This Zuru Max flower thing came with like 270 pieces and was $9. It's like, what the heck? And if they're good, oh my God, Lego's in trouble. Because Lego's not in trouble, don't get me wrong, but you go through a decade of Zuru nipping at your heels like that, ooh. I just saw that NERF is not selling anymore local Walmart in Reading. X-Shot is selling so fast that the stalkers can't keep them on shelves. I doubt they don't sell it at all, Tim. I bet you they were in the middle of like rearranging the shelves because they're doing that at my local Walmart too. Was it the other day I was in Discord saying I found a Lego set I want. It's one of the Ninjago ones, but it was super cool. And it's like, yeah, I kind of want that. But again, it's like, I don't want to go, oh, here's Lego Ninjago. Here's a robot. It's $80. It's like, holy crap, dude. It's too much. Whatever happened to AF Meteor Darts? I saw them on shelves when I went to Walmart yesterday. They had the 100 packs and the 200 packs. I should have bought a 100 pack. I didn't even think about that. I don't know, Radioactive. I know they went after NERF because NERF made those terrible water balloon clones. I mean, Lego's not my wheelhouse anymore. I really don't buy Legos. I'm not like a Lego fan. I mean, I am. I guess I like Legos. But it just blows my mind how expensive they are. It's just insane. Poundland started selling AccuFakes for £3. It's no longer £1. Now multiple pounds. Poundland's just a normal shop at this point. Any stuff on the Javelin M4X video? I'm gonna try to finish it real soon. It's right here. It's not going anywhere. I love it. It's still the best. Absolutely unbeatable blaster. Just insane. I'm not gonna rush it, but I'm gonna refilm what I filmed because I wasn't super happy with it. So maybe this week I might try to get it out by like Friday or something like that. I'm gonna refilm what I did because I just wasn't super happy with it. But I'm also hoping that he gets the hardware kits out soon. Technic style Legos, and I'm there. Technic's pretty cool. Here's Zuru Bionicles. Oh man. Are you going to do a video on the micro reshells? Probably not. What's the best plinking blaster on store shelves right now? I mean, I would almost say the Fury X. I mean, it's basically a pistol. It's cheap. It's powerful. It's got a lot of customization you can do if you want to open it up. That was one of my... I put the stuff... from a long shot in my, I don't know if I talked about that last time, did I? So like I was doing a whole video on putting the long shot stuff inside the Javelin or the Fury X. But people were saying, oh, I'm getting 200 FPS with long shot spring and long shot barrel. I even cut this barrel down and I can't get more than like maybe 170 FPS with it. So I kind of like gave up on the video because I was only getting like a 20 FPS improvement. Even though I really think this is a sick setup. I probably left this stupid thing on, didn't I? I didn't. Oh my god, I didn't. Sweet. Yeah. Put a sling point on it and you can actually kind of stabilize it, look through it. Actually kind of hit stuff with it. But, and this also gives you a huge amount of leverage. I just couldn't get much performance gain out of it. And that kind of ruined the video. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. Like, I say that ruined a video. Would you still watch a video even if I only got 20 FPS improvement out of it? It sucks. Like, I hate doing that to you guys. Then it's like, oh, where's the videos? Walcom. It's like, dude, I tried. And I hated it. I was like, this is all I can. I fired the thing hundreds of times, tried multiple different springs and barrels and everything like that. I was like, the whole point was putting the soul of the long shot inside of the Fury X. And I was like, everybody's like 200. Like, if I can get 190 FPS, then no. And it was super inconsistent too. And that's why I cut down the barrel. Sometimes it was hitting pretty hard. Sometimes it wasn't. And I didn't want to use like, oh, here's a random barrel I could throw in it. Because then you'd be like, well, what's that random barrel? Walcom, like, I have no idea. I just had a barrel hanging around. I don't know. I feel dumb. Now that I cut the barrel, I have to either, I don't know if I have another intact long shot barrel sitting around. They definitely will win some. I have good feelings they will. You're not wrong, 42 Blades. I guess it's just like, I don't know. I have mental issues when it comes to that kind of stuff. So much video. It's just like, yeah, I already shot the video on the Javelin, but I think I'm going to reshoot it because I'm just not happy with it. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm just not happy with the video. Want to do better. Sucks. All right. But there will be coming. There will be videos coming. I'm just going to kind of do the stuff that I'm excited for right now. Which I am excited for the Javelin M4X. I really love that blaster. And I hope as many people can get their hands on it as much. Because the thing that's going to suck is that when I put the video out, people will be like, it's not that good. My whatever is better. And it's like, no, I've used like everything. And this is the best I've used by far. Like, I can't find a flaw with this blaster. What flaws does this blaster have? Every aspect of it is like some kind of feature. It's like, oh, why does it have a hole right there that you can see through? Well, it's because when it's primed, you can see that it's primed. Oh, what's this little random hole back here? Well, when you remove that pin to break apart the blaster, you put the pin in there and it keeps the trigger system and everything intact without it popping out and you having to rearrange it. It's like every aspect of this thing has some kind of crazy feature on it. The front with like, you very easily swap out barrels in literal seconds. It, like, even down to, you can tighten these screws to increase the amount of friction holding the pump grip forward. If you want your pump grip to have a little bit of friction when it's in the forward position, when it's primed, so it doesn't kind of slop around, if that's what you do. This blaster does it all. Every aspect of it is meticulously crafted to be the best. And I know there's still people that are, I don't like it. It's not as good as my Retaliator. It's like, I don't know what to tell you, because this thing is... There's no blaster I own that is that smooth. I don't know if... How do I show you how smooth this is? Like, I don't know if slow shows you how smooth it is, or fast shows you how smooth it is. It's the best. I firmly believe that this is like a nigh unbeatable. The only complaint is maybe some mags, the lips are too wide. if you're not using like standard Talon mag, and that will catch on the bars. So you might not be able to freely drop your mag. You might not be able to. You can still obviously remove it, but you might not be able to freely drop it if you're not using a thinner lipped mag. That's like the most pickiest of problems I could come up with this thing. It is that good. You got to visit every single viewers and hand them blasters that can feel the smoothest. I know, that's what I have to do. I seriously, like, I mean, it's almost overkill how meticulous this blaster is. I don't know what these holes are for. I haven't figured that out. These are M-lock slots. I can't figure out what these are for. I should just ask him. But the fact is like, oh, you wanna break apart this blaster, you just undo this little spring right here. This little screw. Thumb screw. Takes a couple of seconds. You then use the thumb screw, right? You use the thumb screw, and use the flathead, and I push it down on the pin to make it flush with the hole. And then you use the screw end to push the pin out, so you can then grab the pin, and then you immediately put it in the hole behind it. And you don't need to, you can do that one by hand. You don't need the screw for that. Maybe if there was a spot to like put this screw hole in somewhere, but that's all it takes. Oh, I have to take out the mag. That's all it takes to break apart the blaster and service every aspect of it. Everything. And keep in mind, you could quick change this. And that, all of that, and on top of all of that, take out the plunger tube, screw it. You've got the wheel. I don't know if I can ever get this in there. This wheel changes the pre-compression of your spring, and it takes like 40 rotations to bottom it out. But because of that, if you're like, oh, my blaster needs to hit 230 FPS, you, with enough testing, could get this to 230 F and like just the close. You're not changing random springs and barrels trying to get as close to 230 as you can. You just get there. It is incredible how perfect this blaster is, which is why it's like I have to do this video justice. And I know how it's gonna go. I know I'm gonna dump all this time and effort into this video and it'll get like 10,000 views because everybody's so sick of pump actions. But this thing is the best. It cannot be beaten. And I think even like the most maxed out version of this, hand built from him, is like, I think $250. That's all of the furniture, the steel rods for the priming linkage, or the bearing rods, steel ones instead of plastic, I think. All of that stuff. And you can buy it without the stock, without the grip, and without the foregrip if you don't want them. Because this is a standard, I think, M4 pattern. I'm not quite sure because I don't own an AR or anything like that. But it's a standard pattern. It looks like an AEG grip, but it's not one. So I don't know what the difference between AEG and AR is, but I know you can change the grips on them. It's a standard one. You can swap this out. He has a printed one. The printed one has a little door in the bottom of it. You remove that. You got all your O-rings and a bottle of lube in there, so you can service a blaster wherever you want. The stock, it's his own design. It's amazing. It's got a cheek rest on it. It's super, super nice. It's adjustable. And then if you remove it, again, you have this thing. It takes like 40 and it's buttery smooth. You can do it with one finger. And you just do that for God knows how long until it clicks. And you can add like 50, 60 FPS to it doing that. You can see, I'm talking about it like I love it that much. I don't know how you beat this blaster. I'm sure somebody will, oh, it's terrible. I don't like it. It's awful. The trigger, oh my God, the trigger, chat. I can literally, I'm trying to hold this down so I don't dry fire it, but it's literally, are you kidding me? And look how that lockup is. Like, Look how short that travel is on that reset. And it's... I'm not even trying to, like, I'll do pinky from here. It's unbeatable. It's seriously unbeatable. And I know, like, somebody's going to take that as like, oh, well, he's exaggerating. It's like, I literally... Drop the mag. I literally cannot find a flaw with it. It's compact. It can be more compact. Everything you need a blaster to do, it does. It doesn't have slam fire, and it's like, but how many people have complained about slam fire? Competitive players hate slam fire, which is fine. They don't like it. No, it's funny. Wade says it doesn't have slam fire, but it doesn't have it for a reason. A Tinker Shot Spitfire lever action would be ballin'. It would be ballin'. That actually sounds sick. I love Slamfire, but like, yeah, competitive players do not like it. I don't have a Springer Perilous. I don't know if I'll ever have one. I've heard a lot about it, but yeah, I do not have one. The reason why so many pubs, like, I understand if this isn't your jam, and that's fine. Like, I understand that wholeheartedly, that if this is not your thing, fair. That's perfectly acceptable. Doesn't make it a bad blaster. Just, like, the reason why there's so many options for pump action Madfield Springers out there is because none of them are perfect. To me, this is practically unbeatable. It is currently for sale on Spitfire products. I'll have a video out soon, and he will have hardware kits. Slamfire on a secondary, like, that's one of the things, like, I really wish I never got it, and I wanted it. The Gecko with a little pump grip, so you have this tiny package with, like, a 20 dart mag, and you can just grab it, grab the front of it, just go, and just hose with it. Like, yeah, you can get a flywheeler to do that. It's not the same. That's when Slamfire is just, mwah. Yeah, that's the reason why. You can't really deprime a Slamfire. Like, it's hard to deprime a Lynx. I don't think you can do it. Hey, Cars. Thank you. All right. I need lunch. I need foods. I think we're good. You guys got me talking. You guys got me rambling. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll be back like something you don't want back, I'm sure. Sorry, things are a little slow right now. Like I said, it's freaking freezing. I'm boiling right now, but it's because of this big, huge, gigantic hoodie. And I don't know how much I want to wear this on camera. I don't know. I think people would see the Jigglypuff hoodie and be like, yeah, I don't want to hear anything of what this neckbeard has to say. They see the Jigglypuff hoodie and they'd be like, nope. They'd click out before I even opened my mouth. But I got some tag backs, and I think tag back's going to be a regular thing from here on out because I have fun with it. I got a lot of stuff. We'll see what I can get done. I can't wait for the weather to go back to like the balmy mid-40s when it's so nice to be up here in just a normal hoodie. I'm actually wearing a normal hoodie under this too. That's how much I've had to layer up. Thank you, 42 Blades. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, day. It's only noon. I'm gonna get some lunch, and then I think I'm gonna play video games with a friend for a bit since we don't play enough video games together. And I will see you guys all later. Hopefully I can have something out for you tomorrow and the rest of the week. We'll see what happens. I hate making promises because the weather has been awful. It's icy hot out there. I hate it. But we'll see what you can do. Thank you very much for sticking by, joining us. Quiet Wyatt, Vesic, 42 Blades, Andrew Smith, Ingrid Handley Waters, General Strife, Jinx 13, Wensum, Demon Animator, nice to see ya. Thanks for coming out. Travis Nguyen, John Hale, Smith Zero, Homely 665, thanks for being by. Bots and Blasters, nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. Radioactive Designs, Cars, J-Row, Scrolling up now, trying to find Wade Gibson. Anyone else? Vincent Cantera? King Kavosha with a $2.
Let's rock.
Thank you very much, King Kavosha. And as always, if you want to meet like-minded nerfers, there's of course the Discord. It's on the screen, discord.gg/nerf. We're all there. All right, I'm seriously done. Bye.